Manchetser.
Hello and welcome back to another typical City watch-along. Luton FA Cup, a monstrous tie, another Premier League tie, away from home, and City get all the easy draws apparently. So I'm feeling a little bit more confident than I was in my preview. The team news that I wanted to see, I did want to see Rodri. I know people will say, no, what are you saying? You've got to rest Rodri, and Pep's obviously of the same thinking. I get that. I'm glad he's gone strong elsewhere on the pitch as well. Your De Bruyne's, your Haaland, John Stones is propping up that midfield in Rodri's absence as well, which is great news. I'll get into more detail. But before I go any further, I did want to give a massive shout out to James, who messaged much earlier in the day. I imagine he's quite bored in hospital right now. He did let us know that he is currently in hospital right now, which is boring, miserable. I hope it's nothing serious, mate. But it's rubbish. It's rubbish being in hospital. So if you're nice and comfy in whatever room you're in your house or somewhere relaxed watching this, just think of James, send him some love. Big Man City fan who's constantly on this stream as well. He's always shouting in the chat, and a big supporter of Typical City. So I really do appreciate that. Send him your love. So hope you're all right, James, in hospital. But the Manchester City team news is pretty positive. We've gone pretty strong, and as strong as I was kind of hoping we would, with a little bit of balance in there as well. I mean, to be honest, this team would beat most Premier League teams, and rightly so, because we're playing a Premier League team. So Ortega in goal, Walker as part of the right three centre-backs. I imagine Akanji's the central centre-back, Ake left centre-back. In front of them, Kovacic and John Stones, which is exciting to see what John Stones is going to bring to the table in Rodri's absence. Can he do that Rodri role? Because we can't be asking Kovacic to do that role, surely. Surely Kovacic is the man who's given that a little bit more freedom, that license to push forward once in a while. I think Kovacic is the man for that. And lately, what was it? Who was the last game? Bournemouth. He was sensational. Absolutely brilliant, Kovacic, in his last game, which is exciting. In front of them, De Bruyne, the guy who I've got doubts about his fitness. So Pep obviously knows he's starting this game. He was on the bench the last two games, coming on for the final, 12 minutes against Bournemouth. Very ineffectual, to be honest, in his little substitute cameo appearance. But De Bruyne, we're talking 12 minutes, so let's not get overly critical about 12 minutes of football. But De Bruyne could have done better in that period of time. Could have done a lot worse. Núñez is starting again. A fully deserved start. Started the game left wing against Bournemouth. Did a reasonably good job. Came off around the hour mark for Doku. I imagine this time he's going to be in the middle of the park because of the rest of the players that are in this starting 11, namely in Jack Grealish, who surely is playing on that left side of the pitch. Good to see Jack back. Interesting comments from Pep Guardiola in the week as well. A couple of days ago, what was he saying? He needs to play better, basically. I thought it was good. Alarming a little bit, to be honest, because Pep was a real forthright with his opinions there. Really strong with his wording when talking about Jack Grealish, saying he needs to perform better. Literally that. You need to play better, and then you'll be finding yourself more frequently in the starting 11. A rocket up the backside for Jack Grealish, maybe. Or is that going back to that video that I made, a couple of weeks ago, the beginning of the end of Jack Grealish, with Pep clearly targeting different types of wingers? In Savio, who's on his way to the club, Doku's on his way to the club. He's played Núñez on that left side of the pitch, which is a much more explosive player than Jack Grealish is. You've got your control on the other side of the pitch, by the way, with Bernardo Silva playing on the right. Erling Haaland up top, which I'm excited. I'm excited with this team. Hey, James, good to see you, mate. I've just seen your name pop up there, mate. Really good. Hope you're all good. Brilliant. No, I'm glad you heard the words as well, mate. Your support, mate, means a lot to me. Not just one person. It is a community that we're building. But I've noticed your name frequently in the chat, mate, and I hope you're all right. And it's good to see everyone else as well. Alex, Ziola, I'm good, mate. How are you, mate? Ryan, you're enjoying the trailer. Oh yeah, I've made a little trailer, didn't I? Yeah, I whipped that up. That was a bit fucking... Took me ages, that, as well, because basically I had to watch myself for, like, hours on end, just looking at myself, which was quite a cringe operation, to be honest. The idea of looking at yourself for hours on end is quite an uncomfortable process. Yeah, and it's shite halfway through. Mahmood, good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. And he's passing on his love to James as well. I am close. I'm not going to get to 11,000 subscribers in this because I've only just passed 10.9. But if you are watching and you're new to the stream, consider subscribing. You could be a massive factor in helping me get to my 11,000 subscriber mark, which would be fantastic to do today. Very unlikely because I think I need about 90 odd subscribers for that to happen. Not likely to happen, but still, you never know. But yeah, no Rodri. Douglas, good to see you as well. Concerned about the team. We have to smash them early and then rotate. I wouldn't have risked as much just before the derby. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a lose-lose, win-win, isn't it? It depends what spin you want to put on it. You know, it's so difficult to work out, and Pep's gone strong. I personally agree with what Pep's done. I know you don't, clearly, which is fair enough. And I get what you're saying as well, to be honest, because hindsight, isn't it? If we go and get a few players injured today, and we lose Haaland or lose, I don't know, John Stones or someone who's vitally important to this squad that would definitely start the game against United, force our hand. We can't lose any defenders, you know, like Akanji's or Ake. Ake's the big one for me. Ake's the most surprising player to me that's starting this game. But yeah, I get your point, mate. I totally get your point. Oscar Bob, know that. Devious Duck, he's not playing. I'm also surprised. I predicted he would start this game. Big M's gone 4-1. That's bold, mate. Bold. What a trailer. Look forward to watching it. And can you imagine my big, stupid face on an IMAX cinema screen? How insulting to everyone in that room that would be. The worst cinema ticket you will ever buy is my big fat face on an IMAX cinema. I'd love it though. I'd be quite happy with that, to be honest. That'd be quite funny. But yeah, good to see you. Section 20 as well, all over it. Travels, Avic K, a new member. Those that are interested in becoming a member of Typical City, you can find the link in the description below. You get access to emojis of Pep Guardiola, Haaland, and other City staff members and players. Well, not staff members. You're not going to get like the physio man emoji, to be honest. I didn't think he was a big guy at City, to be honest. I didn't think he'd be that popular with emojis. So I went with Pep Guardiola instead. Makes sense. But yeah, you've got access to those emojis like Avic, and thank you for becoming a member, mate. Really helps support the channel. Good of you. There's Rodri in the dugout. Look at that. Look at that tunnel. They're working. Oh, look at that little first aid box. Look at that. Mate, this is ghetto. We're at Kenilworth Road. This is absolutely bottom end of like football facilities, and I love it. This is not a complaint. I love it. I love things like this. You know, none of this like glass walls at the Etihad where all these animals, like they're at the zoo, aren't they? Where like the fans are like looking at you like, oh, look at him, like that. All these players walking down the tunnel at the Etihad, at the club tunnel, it's known as, where you can see all the players through the glass. It's like one-way glass. None of that at Kenilworth Road. A nice plain brick white wall with one little first aid box that's going to supply all the first aid for everyone in the stadium. I love it. I love to see these things. It's great. Old school football, mate. All about it. Who else have we got? Kevin, good to see you. James as well. I hope you're keeping well at there. Timmy's joined. Cortez. Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. Let me get to the bottom of the chat. Jeff, just saw you pop in as well, mate. Good to see you, Jeff. And Shantani as well. Hope you're good. Hope you're good. Evie, Jonathan Johnson as well. Coogan, good to see you, mate. Yeah, buzzing. Absolutely buzzing for this game. I have a reasonably good feeling. I do. They scare me. I've seen a lot of people in the preview as well talking about my preview, how I paid too much respect to Luton, which I think is a bit wrong, to be honest. I don't think I went overboard. I think they've entertained the masses this season. I think the point I was trying to make in my preview was the fact that they've not done what everyone expected them to do. My point was everyone was expecting them to get battered every week, 3 or 4-0, be humiliated week in, week out, go down, break the, what is it, the Derby? Is it Derby County that hold the record for the least amount of points in the Premier League season? I think it's Derby County. They were going to break that. I think it was like 15 points that they got, though. So, I mean, what? Fucking 5 wins. That's, like, ridiculous. Piss off. There's a fly in here. But yeah, Luton, they've not embarrassed themselves in the slightest. Now, with what's gone on midweek, has also changed my opinion a little bit, with Everton getting points reduced in their deducted points. So 6 points now taken off their table tally rather than 10. Luton are the biggest, like, not benefactors. What's the opposite word of that? I don't know what the opposite word of benefactors is. Like the most punished in that situation, where they've now seen a big gap appear between them and Everton, a team that they was very likely to get their claws into and get themselves out of a relegation battle and potentially stay in the Premier League. That's the conversation for another day, what the fuck the Premier League are doing, by the way. What they're doing is just great news for City as far as I'm concerned, and how crazy the way they're working right now. It's great news for City. It's great news in my opinion, because this is what we're going up against. I keep saying it. I have every confidence in their incompetence. 100%. They have no idea what they're doing. But I did watch Stefan Borson, by the way. Aaron Borson, who's often in the chat. That's his brother, who often appears in the chat. Stefan Borson, a financial expert and former financial advisor to Manchester City. He helped with the tasking Shinawatra to Sheikh Mansour takeover. He was part of that as well. He was on TalkSport today, and he actually said that the Premier League have come out of this clean. I understood what he was making, the point that he was making to a degree, in how they've handled the situation, and a lot of the accusations have been nullified in what they've done. But there is more complicated, like, byproducts to this, to be honest. And I didn't actually finish watching that video as well. I need to watch it in its entirety. But I still can't believe what they've done. And I'm excited now. I'm excited for the announcement of the Premier League going, we're dropping the charges. We're dropping the charges. Manchester City have done nothing wrong. Like, yeah, wait till they crawl back under their rocks. And if they do charge us, then you know the next stage will be Manchester City arming themselves to the teeth with the best KCs and lawyers that man can find and taking them to the cleaners. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Pep is donning a lovely little bobble hat. Not a bobble hat, but one of those beanies. Rodri looks nice and cosy on the bench. The players are out, and the FA Cup is about to get underway after knocking Spurs out thanks to a Nathan Ake, what was that, 88th minute goal. Get rid of the curse of Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Was it 11 points, Renegade 96? Derby County was 11 points, so not even 15. Fucking hell. 11 points. Hey, no way. Jeff, have you gifted someone a membership? I didn't see that, mate. But if you do, that's massive of you, Jeff. Appreciate that. And Cuggan is going wild with some Jack Grealish chants there as well. Good to see you, Dennis, as well. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. And Jacob, Stefan, Young Fora, 4-0 to the Citizens, Haaland, brace, Nunes, worldy. And a Bernardo cheeky finish. Awfully specific, but I like it. I like it. I like the specific ones. There you go, Jeff, you're a legend, mate. Look at that. Jeff's gifted someone a typical City membership. What a legend you are, Jeff. An absolute hero. Game's about to get underway, just as Jeff has been performed a heroic act of decency there. Kickoff underway. Kevin De Bruyne gets us underway. Stefan Ortega, long ball up the top, and that's to be expected a lot today. The camera angle is so close, isn't it? I love it. I love the old school football grounds. It's good to see. Manchester City donning their away kit, the white and maroon burgundy shorts. Luton with their flamboyantly orange and black top, which is nice. Haaland's got some space here, and there you go. The press, man-to-man from Luton, was already there. I went into detail in my preview about how Luton play. They don't tend to play with a low block. It'll be interesting to see if they do play with a low block today, and already I can see they're not. I was right in my prediction, and I'm kind of glad that they've been bold enough to not change their style, because lately City go up against teams that normally play a certain way, aggressive, pressing. Even Liverpool, Liverpool have gone into low blocks at times against Manchester City, whether that's by force or by just circumstances of the game. But Haaland's been chasing that ball there. As Mengi gets back and prevents Haaland getting onto the end of it. But a lovely bit of play there. Luton bringing it away. Bernardo Silva winning the ball back. But Luton, in fairness to them, I was kind of expecting them to go into a low block, even though they don't normally play it. Kevin De Bruyne is to the byline here, dinking it back post, and it's Haaland underneath it over everybody's head. I can't do with that already. We're already seeing a bad cross coming. It really infuriates me how far away some of our crosses have been this season from hitting targets. And it's been a big topic of mine, and a boring one as well. I don't like talking about it. It's boring to hear, and it's boring to talk about crosses that are inaccurate. But it's a massive, massive part of our game. We cross the ball so much. Whether it's a hard and low cross, sort of somewhere in between, or a little dink to the back post, whatever it may be, the general quality of our crosses coming into the box this season hasn't been up to scratch, in my opinion. When you've got Erling Haaland in the middle as well, who thrives off it as well. He lives and breathes a good cross. Now, Kevin De Bruyne is back onto the into the fold, let's say. And hopefully we see more of those crosses that we know he can do. But cross number 1 from Kevin De Bruyne in this game, over everybody's head. Not to worry. James Birdie, good to see you. Clara's in the chat as well. Hope you're well, Clara. 2 minutes in, and it's City knocking the ball about pretty well, comfortable. Every month, Jeff, we'll be gifting 1 membership to a lucky typical City supporter. Make sure to tune in each game for your chance to win. Jeff, you're an absolute legend. And Kevin De Bruyne could make himself one here. And we're in, and it's a 1-0 to Manchester City. Just as I was hoping Kevin De Bruyne can start crossing the ball a little bit more accurately. He absolutely heard me all the way down in Luton. He went, is that you, Johnny? Is that you? Do you want me to cross the ball a bit better? Yeah, no problem, mate. There you go. Erling Haaland on a plate. 1-0. Thanks very much. 3 minutes into the game. Bang, bang. Have some of that. Oosh. City. Love that, mate. Love that. That was a bit easy, wasn't it? That seemed a bit simple. Good football, though. Manuel Akanji sending Nunes down that left wing. Nunes holds the ball up really well there. Waits for the run of Kevin De Bruyne. Finds him really well. Kevin De Bruyne cuts it back hard and low. There you go. There's the variation, the variety in our crosses. Hard and low. Left foot. Erling Haaland sort of on the penalty spot waiting. He put it behind Haaland, but he had to put it behind Haaland because he can't put it too close to Mengi, who's marking Haaland. If he puts it too in Haaland's path, Mengi has a better opportunity of intercepting or clearing that ball. He has to put it behind Haaland to take Mengi out of the game, and he does that perfectly. And Haaland was fantastic in his ability to stretch that big Stretch Armstrong leg, that Inspector Gadget leg, and hook it back into the far corner. Lovely. Absolutely lovely goal. 1-0, 3 minutes in. James is feeling better, mate. Buzzing, James. Buzzing. I'm glad you're feeling better, mate. Great start, Kevin Joy Boy. We haven't scored this early for a while. Absolutely, mate. It's a great point. And Ryan echoes your point almost instantly. First time in ages we've scored an early goal. Completely agree. I think the last time was Burnley, wasn't it? Like really early. With Bournemouth at home as well. I think we scored quite early against Bournemouth and the Etihad. But away from home as well. Was first game of the season, Burnley. And that was like, 4 minutes in? Sort of similar time. Haaland again. Great start. Great start. Have I noticed how muted Haaland's goal celebrations are recently? I don't know. Not really. Against Everton, no. I think against Everton, he went wild, didn't he? He jumped in the air, and I'm like, how did you not break the bottom of your spine right onto your bum bone? You know, your arse bone, like the peak, or what's the opposite of the peak? The bottom of your spine, basically. And he landed straight on that. I'm like, how did that not hurt? Like jumping in the air and just landing on your arse. But yeah, that wasn't a muted celebration, but that one was a little bit. And the ball's come in from Luton, and it's gone across the face of goal. Jack Grealish chasing it. Haven't seen Jack Grealish do anything yet, touch the ball at all, or haven't said his name. Hat-trick for Erling, William King. Good to see you, William. Hope you're well. Mate, I'd love a hat-trick. Because that would really... Not only would that mean we've won the game comfortably by a decent margin, unless it's like some stupid 3-3, of course, or 4-3 type of game. And this team can do that. Luton can score goals against anybody. Anybody. So... there is a worrying factor that this game is absolutely not done. Great start, but, solid at the back now. Continue the solidity that we've found in recent games. 2 clean sheets in a row. Great news. Oh, Doughty. Kyle Walker's been pissing about with it. Kyle Walker. Absolute warning there for Kyle Walker, mate. He's not even said sorry either. That'd be me going, hey, sorry, lads. Sorry, lads. And that went out of play as well. Went out of play. But still, Kyle Walker, mate, that's a little warning sign there. He was pissing about with it on the byline. And he got caught by Doughty. Doughty's now giving it away. But De Bruyne returns the favour and gives it them back. Bloody fly. Pissing off, mate. Fucking twat. Clark. Woodrow. Ogbene. Cross comes in. It's cleared by Akanji. De Bruyne struggles to get it under control. But he does eventually. Going the wrong way, though. Cuts it inside to Kovacic. Still inside the dangerous area. And Kovacic plays... Oh, it's a lovely idea from Kovacic. Great idea to feed Bernardo Silva. But just a little bit overhit. Just a little bit. But, yeah, it's a great start. If you could drop a like on the stream as well. We've got 130 odd in the building. 73 likes. Do you reckon we could get that to 100 likes before half-time would be fantastic. Got to watch out for Ross Barkley, man, as well. He's having a great season. Great season for Luton. He's rejuvenated, isn't he? He sort of fell off the face of the earth for a little bit, didn't he? Just disappeared for a year or two. Don't even know where he was. Then he just ends up at Luton and playing some bloody good football as well. John Stones being forced to chase one to the byline, but composed from John Stones. Turns Woodrow, keeps the ball, gets it into Kovacic, back with Ortega now. Ortega goes long and low, but gets it into Nunes. Nunes spins beautifully, turns, and he's away. Mateus Nunes with acres of grass to run into. He dinks one back post, and it's not good enough. It needed to be a bit more on that. Not enough meat in the cross there. Jack Grealish was waiting at the back post. Could have taken more time there, to be honest, Nunes. He didn't have to go that early with that cross. But it was a great spin in the middle of the park, inside City's half as well, and he takes that ball 40, 50 yards up the pitch. I mean, Nunes, for me, is starting to really, really shine, and Kovacic as well. But will we see them frequently, week in, week out? You know what I mean? Petition for Jonny to add Jeff's face to the scorecard. Which scorecard? What do you mean? But Jeff, you're a legend, mate. Jeff's offering. You don't have to do that, Jeff, but that's so good, mate. Just seen that as well, Jeff, up there. Jeff's growing out his hair and donating it to me so that I can grow a beard. Oh, thanks, mate. Do you really want? You're going to send me your hair and I'm going to have to glue your hair to my face and have some sort of fucking great big Jeffy beard? Yeah, I'd like that, mate. Thanks very much. I'm definitely not going to throw your hair in the bin as soon as it arrives. Definitely not going to do that. But cheers, Jeff. Buzzing. 1-0. But, Luton, they're still posing a threat. They're still a dangerous team. They look frustrated, though. Mengi's on the ball right now looking for options, and City's press is high and in numerical advantage as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pressing 3 there, to be honest, and they looked like they were short, but once those 5 are out of the game, they're out of the game. Luton's offside. Woodrow. I give you the I forgot to give you the Luton team. You've seen it already by now, but Tim Krul, Reece Burke, Mengi, Amari Bell, that's the back 3. Ogbene, right wing back. Clark and Barkley in the middle of the pitch. Doughty, left wing back. I've gone with Woodrow as a right side a little bit, but I think I've got that wrong. I feel like Woodrow's probably playing in the middle, is he? Or maybe on the left? I don't know, but their front 3's quite versatile. Morris and Woodrow, who can play as out-and-out number 9s, but can also play a little bit wide, can also play as number 10. So they've got versatility there. Kevin De Bruyne has been fed down the left channel, though, with acres of space and not much support. Only Haaland waiting in the middle for him. De Bruyne... Oh, and he had to wait even longer. Nunes was bursting in. He tried to find him, but there was no chance. Nunes' run was always being shepherded away from any sort of threat. Bernardo Silva feeds Haaland. He's got to wait for that ball. Big, powerful strength of Erling Haaland. Mengi can't deal with it. Oh, he's done well, though. He's done well there, Mengi. Haaland was just like a big bloody wardrobe. It's like, how do you turn him? How do you get in front of Erling Haaland when he does that? And he's just like holds that ball in front of him. Mengi was just like trying to get it round him. Eventually just pokes a little toe out. And Luton have got space here. Kyle Walker's got some defending to do with Woodrow on the left side. Chong's bringing it forward. Clark's going to dink one back post over everybody's head and out for a goal kick. Take that. Cheers, Aaron. I was talking about your brother, mate, on Talk Sport today. I need to watch that video in a bit more thoroughly than I did today. But once again, mate, your brother just handles himself so well, and I really enjoy listening to him. He's a very articulated and intellectual man. I mean, you don't get to be in his position without being that, do you? Let's be honest. But it's a man of integrity and intelligence going into a sort of media circus a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So those two sort of ideologies clash quite often, don't they? Do you know what I mean? And it's quite, the media often win in that situation and just like asking stupid questions and you get stupid answers type situation. He handles himself brilliantly. That's the second time I've seen him on Talk Sport today. This time talking about Everton, of course. But yeah, I really enjoyed listening to him, mate. Haaland's been fed. 1-2 with Grealish is on. Oh, Jackie boy, so close from Jack Grealish to find Erling Haaland there. City are purring, we're playing some good football. It's fast-paced as well. 1 touch, 2 touch at most. Very few players are taking more than 2 touches on the ball, which is to be expected, but it's the tempo that Luton are struggling to deal with it right now. And Haaland's been brilliant as well, not just because of the fact that he's scored. His movement, he's tearing Mengi down each channel as well. And when that ball's fed, he's holding him off. And Mengi's not an easy guy to hold off. Doing well. The Bernardo Silva ball was a little bit sloppy to Kovacic, but Kovacic collects it either way. But anyway, yeah, good to see you, Aaron. Cheers for the compliment on the trailer. Soul King Jack as well. Hope you're well, mate. If we can pull out with a confident win, I'll be a lot more comfortable about our team without Rodri. That's a great point as well. Win this game without Rodri will be a big coup for City. Like as the club, as a feel-good factor. Because I said in my preview, I don't think we win this game without him, and I'm praying that they prove me wrong. But he's just a figurehead, isn't he? He's just someone. I feel like the rest of the players look at him and just go, "That's our man." He's like, look at him. He's in our team. Thank God he's in our team. And they all just feel better with him in the team. Lovely. Haaland's laid it off for De Bruyne. De Bruyne tried to find Nunes, who looked offside, to be honest, but De Bruyne's won it back. Haaland was a lovely layoff from Haaland. Another lovely pass from Haaland to Jack Grealish. And Haaland's on bloody fire. Haaland's heard me, slating me. I slated him in the last video. And rightly so. He had a poor game, in my opinion. Too many chances missed. He is on the pitch to score goals, mind you, but it's not that I'm so impressed with. The fact that he scored a goal, brilliant. Took it really well. His overall play has been brilliant so far. 14 minutes. Keep that going, mate, because he looks brilliant at the minute. Really, really good. Dropping deep, going long, pulling Mengi around, little layoffs, bringing it down, showing his strength, closing down Tim Krul right now. Great. This is great. Because there were question marks about Haaland and his body language and things like that. I think it was, I can't remember who it was, but was worried about the muted celebrations. I think sometimes he can fool you into, he sort of acts cool. Grealish ball into the box, collected by Tim Krul. I think sometimes he does that. Do you remember the goal against Sheffield United? Was it earlier this season to make it 1-0? He'd missed about 4 chances before that and then he scored. And when the City fan ran out, he jumped out of the crowd and just grabbed Haaland and gave him like one of them, what they call nuggies. Is that what they call nuggies, when you grab someone in a headlock and like rub their head? I wouldn't be doing that to Erling Haaland very often, mate, because that was... it would probably put you in a suplex and destroy you. But, yeah, that celebration, he scored and he just went... you know how Didier Drogba did? Sort of Didier Drogba celebrations, just like that. No emotion shown. Obviously, inside he's buzzing, but like there's almost like an arrogance to not celebrating. Thierry Henry. Do you remember that celebration? My favourite Thierry Henry goal, certainly with the celebration as well. City knock it back to Ortega. Ball with Ortega now. Was a free kick that when he played for Arsenal. And Thierry Henry had the free kick. He scored it, and the referee said, "Oh, I didn't blow my whistle. You shouldn't have taken that. Didn't take that." And then he takes the next free kick and scores it again, then looks at the referee and goes, "Is that okay?" Is that okay? Oh, that's so good. So good, the fact that he did it again. Just to show how good he is. That wasn't luck. I'll do it again, mate. I'll put it in a different corner and celebrate in such style, mate. Thierry Henry is such a cool guy. I do like him. Bloody OBS disconnecting. Right, reconnect. Apparently I'm still live. Let us know if there was if I'm still live, because OBS just had a little brain fart and said, I've disconnected, but now I'm back. So let us know if I'm still live. If I've gone, then I do apologise. Ah, good. Cheers, Big M. Nice one, mate. Yeah, bloody, I've got to check it out, because that's the second time it's done that now. Worrying me. But Haaland again in a battle. Lays it off brilliantly. And he's in. Kevin De Bruyne has fed Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland's through on goal and he makes it 2-0. Erling Haaland is on fire, mate. He's absolutely ripping up Kenilworth Road and Mengi just cannot deal with him. He is getting bullied by Erling Haaland. Once again, a lovely little layoff fed into Erling Haaland. He studs it with the bottom of his boot into Kevin De Bruyne's path. Kevin De Bruyne knows what Erling Haaland's going to do. He doesn't even need to look up. He waits for Kevin De Bruyne's pass. Haaland just bursts into that space behind him and Kevin De Bruyne feeds him beautifully, one-on-one, no messing about, through the legs of Tim Krul, and it's 2-0 Manchetser City. Young Fora, mate. You told me what? You told me he's got a hat-trick. He's not got it yet, mate, but I hope you're absolutely right. Buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. Haaland's on fire, mate. Mate, you're probably right, young Fora. I hope you're right. Unbelievable. He's getting 5, said Ryan. No way. Is that what you predicted a brace? Fair enough. Well, you got that right. 100% correctamundo. Hey up, Ian. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. Haaland emojis. Fully deserved as well. And here we go again. Kevin De Bruyne with this time reversing the favour from Haaland, who's probably first time in 18 minutes he's done something wrong. Tried to feed Kevin De Bruyne. Just overhit it. Hey up, Bam Bam. But yeah, this has been a very enjoyable watch so far. I mean, Luton have contributed, not so much attackingly, but like the fact that they're so open is just great news, isn't it? I'm surprised they didn't change, to be honest. I knew they wouldn't as well, because it's a stubborn thing to be as a football manager, and you got to stick to your beliefs. Pep Guardiola would never change for anybody. Do you know what I mean? And you get to the top by sticking to your own beliefs. If you start blowing with the wind and chopping, oh, fucking hell. Luton are falling apart here. They're falling apart. They're looking at each other. Arms are being thrown about. Manager Rob Edwards there just looking disjointed, just looks shell-shocked. The Bournemouth players are just throwing their arms around. They're not sure what to do. And Manchester City's, just their overall, the aura of Manchester City seems to have given Luton a bit of stage fright. And the 2 goals certainly hasn't helped. Absolutely, mate. Fair play for Luton coming out to play. I'm not sure they want to be here anymore, but let's get a third before half-time, and I can quite confidently say this game's probably done at that point. Probably done. Don't criticise Haaland, Dennis. No, mate. Well, yeah. I mean, every time I've ever criticised him, I've always followed it up with, he'll prove me wrong next week. And he did. He just does, doesn't he? He just does that. Free kick, corner ball, from De Bruyne, trying to find Jack Grealish. But not the greatest ball into the box. This time, De Bruyne tries to curve one with the outside of his boot into the path of Núñez. That doesn't come off either. And that was just Kevin De Bruyne in a nutshell, what we've just seen. He doesn't do things simple. That ball that he just tried to Núñez with the outside of his boot, first time, round the corner, was not far off from working, mind you. But it's just the audacity to even try it. Ortega collects that long ball with Ogbene. He's the one, isn't he? Ogbene, I talked about him a lot in the preview as well. The threat from him is something to be very, very mindful of because of his speed. The quickest player in the Premier League this season, clocked at something like 37 kilometres an hour. Kevin De Bruyne is in again. Manchester City are in. And there's that lack of speed from De Bruyne that's been bothering me a little bit since his return from injury. It's going to happen with his age. I'm not sure he depends on speed too much. But when, it's a nice trait to have, isn't it? Having a bit of speed. But What is he now, 33, 32, 33? It's always to be expected that speed sort of deteriorates as you get a bit older, but that was a bit of an opportunity. But Amari Bell did really well to get in front of Kevin De Bruyne. But I'm telling you, the space that's there for City, this could be 3 or 4-0 before half-time. If we play our cards right, pick the right pass, you know, keep it simple. There's nothing we don't need to overthink things now. We don't need to go overly zealous with any sort of attacks. Just keep going, simple football, and we'll romp this. We'll romp this. And I'm surprised at how well we're playing. With all due respect, I'm surprised because I think a lot of City fans were worried about this one before the. It's not done though. 2-0. I'm getting carried away. It's 2-0. One goal from Luton. This game, the script changes, doesn't it? You know, 3-0. Yeah, it's done. I can't see that. Cheers, Bam Bam. The Nordic Meat Shield. Yeah, he is. What's that guy called who gave him that name? That comedian. It's pretty. The guy who goes round and says the weirdest, funniest things to random people ever. Bernardo Silva's intercepted that. Haaland's on his bike. He sends Jack Grealish down the left side now. Jack Grealish has got to go on, Jack. Try something, Jack. Try it. Shot comes in. Jack Grealish into Tim Krul and he saves it. Not bad from Jack, cutting inside. Got a really, really itchy thumb. You know when your knuckle itches, it's the worst. Like, you can't get the satisfaction, can you? Just know what I mean? Like, you want to fucking scratch my fucking knuckle. Rubbish. Oh, but Akanji stepping in. Carlton Morris. City throw that. City throw. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this. Absolutely buzzing. What did Pep say about Jack Grealish, by the way? I've lost my phone. Where's my phone? I'm sure he had the comment written down somewhere because I wanted to talk about it. Haaland's holding up that ball away. A brilliant, absolutely sensational number 9 play from Erling Haaland as well. And he's not having a... He's in a battle. Kovacic is struggling here, but he's done well to get away from the dangers. The danger's not completely gone, though. Chong down that right side, been forced away from goal. Akanji with a good bit of defending as well. So Pep said about Jack Grealish in the week, he is the same player and the way we play has not changed. It's just the way he has performed. That's the difference. That's not mincing your words, that, is it? That's like straight up Jack. Not good enough. Not good enough, Jack. And in public as well. I'm a little bit surprised Pep's done that. His treatment of the odd player is sometimes, I question it sometimes. The way he spoke about Calvin Phillips and his weight. I mean, he might be right. It's not what you've said, it's where you've said it. Do you know what I mean? It's the fact that you've put it into the media. And the media just write headlines. They love managers that say these things because then they can question the manager's relationship with certain players and they can start demeaning the value of those players in that club and they can start writing negative headlines about Jack Grealish now and they can start calling, years ago, calling Calvin Phillips fat. They could start saying, oh, he's overweight and things like that. And just like, it doesn't help. Just keep it in-house. Keep it in the changing room. Keep it on the training pitch for me. Although I agree with him, Jack needs to improve. It's not what he said. Like I said, it's where he said it. But De Bruyne feeds John Stones and John Stones galloping forward. He feeds Haaland and it's going to be... No, it was nearly a 24th minute hat-trick from Erling Haaland. And to be honest, that was easier than the rest of them. John Stones, there was a lovely ball fed by Kevin De Bruyne into the path of John Stones. I think it was Amari Bell caught in two minds whether to stay with Haaland or go for the ball. He stayed with Haaland, but John Stones bursts forward and just feeds a lovely ball into the path of Erling Haaland and should have made that 3, to be honest. And they've intercepted the ball. And Matheus Nunes over the bar with a bursting run. And he's apologised at some Luton fan that he's just knocked out with his shot. He's just clattered the ball into some Luton fan and immediately went sorry. That's a nice little gesture that from Nunes showing compassion for the rival fans. That was prime Lampard, mate. He's got a big stride, hasn't he? John Stones. The ball from De Bruyne in the middle of the park, though, was really good. Let's not over-egg it. It was good. Haaland, though, was fed through. If he just dinks that, just needs to dink it. Here's me telling Erling Haaland how to bury a one-on-one chance. But, I mean, Krul went down really early. If he could just chip that over Krul... Imagine that. Hat-trick this early. Kyle Walker one-on-one with Chong. Chong just about keeps the ball and Kyle Walker blocks it for a throw-in, and my thumb has refused to stop itching. What the hell is that? And there's a fly in the house as well now. Do my nutting. Should have dinked it, Wesley. Absolutely, mate. Completely agree. Just a little dink. A little dinky dink. Corner ball to Luton, though, from Kyle Walker's sensible bit of defending. Cross comes in. Haaland away. Haaland's everywhere, mate. Haaland's everywhere. I tell you what, though, they've been so sloppy in the middle of the pitch, Luton. It was prior to Kevin De Bruyne's pass to John Stones a couple of minutes ago. It was a Ross Barkley pass that was simple, 5-yard pass, and he just gives it to Bernardo Silva. They've been poor. They've been really poor, mate. Really poor. Thumbs up, mate. That's it, yeah. Big red thumbs up. Are my ears red? No, it's not. I haven't got red ears tonight, but I've got a red thumb. It's not even that red. It doesn't even look that red, does it? But it bloody is red. It's fucking itchy as fuck. Update on the infestation. Do you know what, mate? That's doing my nuts in. We've still got a rat in the house. It disappeared for 5 days. 5 days, no rat, no nothing. Nothing at all. Charlotte was like, all right, I'm cool. She was gonna move back in for the night. She's here every day. But she was going to sleep here, which is something I've been missing, as well as my daughter as well. So it's ridiculous how long this has been going on for now, and it's too much. But it came back. Pissed me right off. But anyway, yeah, so it's not dealt with, but we're going to sort it out. We've tried so many things. Luton. Doughty into Barkley. Luton trying to get something back to make a tie of it, and it's Ross Barkley's probably the man to do it. He's in the penalty area now. Doughty, left foot cross, Ortega collects. Hard and low cross, Ortega gobbles that up. It is a rag. I was even shouting at it as well the other night because we've got a camera up in the loft, or the attic, otherwise known as, and it's got a microphone on the camera. So I heard the rat and I was like, "Oh, piss off!" Bernardo Silva. I'm surprised Ake's playing. I really am. I really am surprised Nathan Ake's playing, and I'm glad he's had very little to do so far, to be honest. And Douglas, mate, you might be getting your wish. You might be getting your wish. Batter them early. So Pep's tactics is playing a strong team, get an early lead. It's absolutely paid off. If we can get a third now, Haaland off, De Bruyne off, Ake off. As for the rest, I'm fine with that. Lovely ball from Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland. Oh my God, that should have been 3-0. What a move. What a move from City that was, though. The football that we're playing, where the fuck has this been? This is what happens when you play against a team that don't defend with everybody. That ball from Bernardo Silva and the attempted volley from Kevin De Bruyne is absolutely sensational. Great save from Krul. You're thinking Erling Haaland on the rebound with his right foot. He hits it anywhere else. Tim Krul's already down. Anywhere else, and it's a goal. He just needs to get, needs to get a bit of air on it. Because Tim Krul's, after that save, is stuck. He's on the ground still trying to get up, but Haaland hits it straight at him while he's lying down, and he just it's straight into his hands. Haaland could have had 4. We're not even half an hour into the game yet, and Luton are getting torn apart at will. That was a good bit of play there. De Bruyne is brought down. Who's that down? Not sure who that is. Is it Amari Bell's been brought down? Hey, 100 likes. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate that. 100 likes on the dot. Love that. 160 in the building. If we could add some more likes, it doesn't do any damage. We've got a new member as well. Who did it go to? Jeff was very kind in handing out a membership. You're a legend, Jeff. You absolutely are. Oystein Dahl, Haaland needs to work on his right foot. Possibly, mate. Possibly. There was that right foot effort, one-on-one against Bournemouth, wasn't there, early on? 8 minutes into the game, through on goal, fed by Phil Foden. Lovely ball from Foden, that was. Oh, and they've given it away. Jack Grealish with a heavy touch. Get your shot away, Jack. He's out of his goal, mate. Oh, what are you doing, Jack? Long ball from De Bruyne. Haaland's got to chase that. Why is Jack not shooting there, mate? Tim Krul just suicidally just gives that ball to Jack Grealish about 50 yards out of his goal. Cuts it across to Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish's touch was a little bit heavy, but you're thinking, he's still 30 yards out of his goal, mate. A shot on target with any air on it, it's 3-0. He didn't fancy it. A confident man would have had a shot there. Jack Grealish didn't want to miss that opportunity. De Bruyne has fed John. The space that Luton are affording us. Rob Edwards, mate, you've absolutely entertained us this season, and it's courageous to see Luton. Look at this from Krul. What a giveaway that is. How is he not shooting there? How is he not shooting there? He even had a second chance to have a little bite at the cherry there. And then De Bruyne's cross is over Haaland, makes him chase it. But that's what. This should have been 5-0 already. I wouldn't worry, James. Can you not see the game, mate, in hospital? That's a shame. I hope you can see. Hope I'll try and do justice for you with describing the game. But we are missing chances, mate. But I feel like, yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. Hot sits. The thing is, though, it's like if you recognise it, then everyone knows what you've been up to. Do you know what I mean? If you recognise this logo, then everyone knows that you've been a naughty boy or a naughty girl in your private domicile. So, yeah, there's no judgment here, though. There's no judgment. Do what you want in your free time. I know I fucking do. So, okay. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Okay. Back to Akanji. Oh, Bernardo Silva with a great turn that would have worked if there wasn't another player near him. Because he did chong, no problem, but there was a fullback that nipped it off him. And the shot's coming in. Ooh, Luton nearly made it 2-1. And James, you might have been right in your worries there for missing chances. Because, you know, Luton get one back now and it's a hopeful effort from Woodrow. Down that left-hand side, cuts onto his right foot, tries to whip it from about 20 yards out, looking for that top corner. Not a million miles away, to be honest, but a little warning to City there that it's not done this game. Third kills it, and we need to get that soon, preferably, because they're still in this, Luton. Just a reminder to anyone who doesn't know this game. Núñez is down. And he looks like he's struggling as well. That's a shitter. That's a real shitter. Someone that you want to see 90 minutes of today as well. Someone that wouldn't get taken off if we get 3-0 up. Someone that would get fully utilised for the full game today, in my opinion. Jack Grealish and Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne all sipping their whatever it is inside that Gatorade bottle. Discussing how to score a third goal, no doubt. Maybe not. Maybe discussing how did you get your hair like that, Jack Grealish? Because Kevin, I'm trying. Kevin's trying, but it's just not up to the standards of Jack Grealish, Kevin. Pep's like, don't even look at mine, mate. I'm going to wear a nice woolly hat today. An opportunity now for Luton to receive some tactics from their boss. Which, yeah, it's killed the game. The momentum this has killed the game, to be honest. It was a very open-ended, fluid game that very much suits Manchester City. Núñez looks devastated, and he's taking a big bite of a protein bar or some sort of protein gel. Osho's coming onto the pitch. They're already making a substitution, Luton. They've recognised the problem. Gabriel Osho, who's been rested for this game, normally the centre-back for them. I'm wondering who this is going to be for, though, because Teden Mengi, who's been in the middle of the park, would be humiliated to come off in the 35th minute after getting bullied by Erling Haaland for the whole 35 minutes of this game. 2 goals scored. He can't deal with it. He just could not deal with the physicality of Erling Haaland. If it's him coming off, that'd be humiliating. It might be Amari Bell, though. But hopefully Núñez is all right. Anyway, what was I saying? Anyone wondering about tonight? There are no replays in tonight's FA Cup game. If this game ends up being 2-2, then it goes to extra time. And then if not decided, it will go to penalties. So we will have a decision tonight. Which I prefer, to be honest, because replays can do one. Can't be doing with a replay. It's the last thing we need right now is more fixture congestion. But that little injury for Núñez was a real dampener on the whole momentum of this game. And Luton have got the ball now. And if they can nick something before half-time, then it's fucking game back on, isn't it? After all the chances we've had to make this 5-0. Should be 5-0 this already. Which is unbelievable to see how well we've created chances from. And it's not like we went up against Bournemouth, who presented a low block, because they played similarly open in that first 45 minutes in particular. This is a very similar first 45 minutes, like it was against Bournemouth. I thought we played really well in the first half. Same again, you know. This time we've taken more chances. Núñez with acres of space, controls it beautifully with the studs of his boot, just brings it down, knocks it back to Kyle Walker. City is slowing the game down a little bit now. Looking for options. John Stones presents himself in the middle. He's been brilliant as well, John Stones. How many times has he burst forward? Very much of the Rodri role tonight. Kovacic is actually the sitter. So I got that wrong. He sees Kovacic as more of a sitter. I'm just more concerned defensively. Jack Grealish has let the ball roll out here. I wonder why. I'm hoping we don't see Núñez on the next camera shot. Or Jack Grealish. No, it is. Grealish is injured. What the hell? That's come out of nowhere. Oh, as much as he's not done that much, to be honest, Jack Grealish. You don't want to see him go off. Fucking hell, man. Guys just like can't catch a break at the minute. He was off within 20 minutes. I can't remember the game. Can't remember which game it was. Was it Copenhagen away? I think it might have been Copenhagen. Oh, he's gutted, mate. He's put his coat on his head. I don't want to see that, mate. I don't want to see that. He looks like he's really upset, mate. He's put his coat over his head in his hands. He's got City staff and players patting him on the back, and he doesn't want the cameras on his face probably because he's pretty upset underneath that coat. And I tell you what, I love to see the fact that that passion is there. You know, people question, me included. I mean, I loved watching the celebrations during the summer of Jack Grealish drinking and partying and stuff, but it makes you forget. It makes you wonder. People were questioning his love for the game and too much of a party animal, but when you see that, you don't often see that from every player who gets injured, you know, but that's a player who wants to play. He wants to play football. The love of the game, the fire in his belly for football is still so strong. And his desire to play football in a Manchester City shirt is just equally as strong, and it's heartbreaking to know that he's not getting the opportunity to do it. It's Jeremy Doku's come on for him, by the way. Chong getting back, and Bernardo Silva was nearly in there, mate. I thought it could have been Oscar Bob, to be honest, hot tits as well. I would have liked to have seen Oscar Bob. I feel like he deserves it. But Jeremy Doku instead. Can't complain, really, can you? Can't complain. There's some quality players we've got to choose from. But, yeah, I would have gone for Oscar Bob just for the minutes. Haaland's been fed by De Bruyne, but is he onside? It looked close. Haaland's in on goal. Haaland makes it 3-0. Is it 3-0 or is it offside? Let's have a look, see. It seems like it's 3-0. He remembered his mistake. Little dinky dink. He didn't dink it last time, and this time he did. Now we're going to see the offside. Is it offside? Because he looked close. To me, he looked offside. He looked offside to me. Hopefully I'm proven wrong, because he... Was that Big Steve? Let me just rewind that quickly. No, it wasn't. Let's have a look. It's a lovely finish from Erling Haaland, by the way. Yeah, Núñez is still on, Adam. He should have dinked it last time. And you don't give this man this many opportunities in 45 minutes of football and expect to come away with a clean sheet. He looks onside, mate. He looks onside. It only looks like his elbow that's offside. And you can't be offside with your elbow. So this looks like 3-0. Erling Haaland hat-trick. Game done and dusted. In a game that I was quite honestly shitting myself about, to be honest. There should be VAR. There should be VAR. It's a Premier League ground. And another assist for De Bruyne as well. Hat-trick of assists for KDB. Wow. Wow. This is great news for the momentum of the team as well, going into the Manchester derby and going into any future games. Still looking at this. It's not confirmed, this goal yet, by the way, so it's going to be interesting to see. But he looked on to me. Check is complete. Goal! A goalie. Loving it. No offside. Haaland, mate, he times his runs impeccably well, doesn't he? He's so good. You combine that with the timing of the passes from Kevin De Bruyne, and it's just the perfect duo against a team that plays so open like this. And it's got them points this season. It got them a point off Liverpool. It's got them 3 points and a 4-0 win against Brighton. So they're no mugs, Luton. They're no mugs. But we've made them look like mugs in this first half. Just the balls on them. You know, we've chopped them balls off, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's like, fair play. You're showing your cojones, mate. That's some big balls to play like this against Manchester City. But I'm sorry, lads. We're going to have to swiftly castrate you, I'm afraid. And, yeah, sorry, lads. This is too open. Too open. And I'm not complaining. I'm very, very happy with the amount of space that they're giving Erling Haaland in behind, one-on-one with the defenders. They can't keep up with him. This time, Jeremy Doku's trying to be sent away. And his miss-hit place, and Doku, if he was switched on there, that was a pass. But the ball's still not cleared. This could be 4-0 before half-time. We can get a fourth here. We really can. But Douglas, mate, you've got your wish. I hope you're watching, mate, and I hope you... yeah, I think we're going to get some changes on at half-time now. It makes sense. 4-0, absolutely, like, you know, get the cavalry off the pitch and bring on... it's how to describe the bench without being demeaning or derogatory. You know, bring on the bench players, let's say that, because that's factual without being derogatory. But the lesser players, let's be honest. Oh, shit, yeah, cheers. Nice one, Big M. 3-0. This is what United have to look forward to, James. Absolutely. That'll be so good if we do this to them. What will they do? What will they do? I was watching Jamie Carragher's analysis of United, and he was right, in my opinion. I don't always agree with him. He's gone one-on-one again, Erling Haaland with Mengi. I'm loving this battle, because he's winning every one. But he was right in what he was saying, Jamie Carragher, with regards to United. And Ogbene's done Nathan Ake, but Akanji steps in. He's going to let that... No, he's got it back to Ortega. They have a low block and a high press, United. That's insane. That is insane. And what he was pointing out was absolutely spot on. And that disjointedness that is always there when you're watching United... Oh, it's 3-1. 3-1 out of absolutely fucking nothing. It's 3-1. Clark has just whipped one into the top corner from about 30 yards. And that has thrown the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit, to be honest. It's 3-1. And what a goal it was, mind you. Shitting hell, boys. Could we have just done a clean sheet? We can't make the changes now. Clark, that is an unbelievable goal. Ortega rooted to the floor. I'm not too deflated, to be honest, because I feel the chances are still going to be there for Manchester City. But there is not much you can do about that when a player pops up at the end, at 30 yards out, and just whips it into the top corner like that. It's a sickening blow, actually, for City, because we don't deserve to be conceding goals in this game. You just worry about how fragile is our confidence right now. Is that going to affect us? That's a foul throw, referee. I'm watching his feet. His feet were over the white line. Fucking hell. Big M might be on 4-1. That's what I'm saying about Luton. You know, they do score goals. They find a way to score goals one way or another. But it was an unbelievable goal. I think you could be right, Douglas. Is this the only time in recent years that we've started without Rodri and not missed him? I think you're right. Yep. I mean, Ortega pretty much went fucking out when that ball whipped into that top corner. All right, that's enough of them. Two Luton fans look about 12 years old, just staring down the barrel of the camera right in my soul. Like I spent far too long on the screen for my liking. Those two idiots did. Possibly, Stefan. That's a nice little positive spin you've put on it there. I reckon that goal was needed, means the players can't drop off now. Second half, and we won't see too many subs. That's a negative, not seeing subs. We need to rotate. We want to be fresh for the derby as best as we can. 3-0, I feel like Pep would make changes, quite a few as well. But no, yeah, in terms of the players on the pitch, it's kind of good news to give them a little rocket up the backside, a little bit of a spark, a little warning that, you can't cruise through every game. You've got to admit that moments like that happen, and keep things alive. Let's go and get a fourth then. That's now the goal. Go and get a fourth. Let's re-kill the game off. The game was killed off pretty much, but you can't, use that. But Haaland's been fed once again by Kevin De Bruyne. This time Mengi's done a good bit of fouled him, to be honest. And Haaland's been flawed, but illegally flawed by Mengi, whose frustration just has been growing and growing throughout this first 45 minutes of football. And he's resorted to just dragging Erling Haaland to the ground and throwing him on the deck. You'd have taken 3-1 at half-time. Yeah, in truth. 3 minutes of injury time. Steve, so what seconds remain? Free kick to City in a dangerous area. This will be the last action of the game. Chris, it is. It's been a really good game, especially because we're winning 3-1. That definitely helps. Definitely helps in being a good game. But even for the neutral, if you hated City, then you're not enjoying this game whatsoever, obviously. And that's the majority of the world. Let's be honest. The majority of the world hate us right now because we win all the time. I get that. But if you're genuinely just like a connoisseur of football, then why are you taking that free kick short? I'm surprised the referee, Anthony Taylor's let us take it. And without blowing his whistle, I'd be blowing my whistle for that. The ball's come in. Akanji, no. It's cleared, half cleared. Surely this half-time whistle's... Now he blows. Yeah, that's half-time. 3-1, Erling Haaland hat-trick and a hat-trick of Kevin De Bruyne assists. Pretty scintillating football from Manchester City. Pleased, really pleased. 3-1. Clark with a wonder goal as well. As much as I hate seeing my team score, you've got to hold your concede rather. I like seeing them score, but a goal like that, you sometimes just got to go, yeah, fair play. Give it one of them, and then that's it. Time for Jeff's half-time show. What's he doing? What's Jeff doing? Is he in the house? Is Jeff going to walk through that door any minute? Oh, mate. But, yeah, it's been a really good performance from City as well. Now, the reason why I don't want to get overly excited about it is because Luton have played poorly, in my opinion. I think they've been bad. As much as we've been good, I don't want to put too much of a dampener on it because right now we need to gather that feel-good factor, the momentum, the idea that we're unstoppable and we are a force to be reckoned with. Just thinking about what we've done well rather than what they've not done is the best way to approach it. But the realistic part of me, the pragmatic part of my brain is thinking that Luton have played badly. They have. They've given the ball away so many times. And their style of play is something that we're not actually used to going up against. They're not got a low block. They're high pressed, man for man, and it's not working for them. It's not working for them. And I'm very pleased about that. Very pleased about that. But how often will we go up against teams like this? It's not. What my point I'm trying to make is it's not ideal practice for the majority of games this season because, I mean, it's probably ideal practice for Arsenal and Liverpool, who are more likely to go man-to-man and more likely to have a high press. And it's good practice for Erling Haaland, finishing footballs into the back of the net, one-on-one with goalkeepers, things like that. Jeff, honestly, it's too much, Jeff. You're an absolute hero. What a legend you are, mate. Jeff has gifted 5 memberships. Big up to Jeff. Big up to Jeff. What an absolute legend you are, mate. Who's got them? Clara, James. Good, James. I'm glad you got that, mate. You deserve it, mate. Stefan, William, Captain Harris, fully buzzing to have you guys join the Typical City Club. And Jeff handing one out as well. 5, Jeff. So good. Spam the Jeff emojis in the chat because you've got them now as members of Typical City. You have the wonderful face of Jeff Spruance to enjoy, who has handed out 5 memberships. Massive, Jeff. That's so good of you, mate. Thank you very much, mate. Top man. Top man. You need to let me know when you're in the UK, Jeff. If you're in the UK, I'll find a way to buy you a pint. It's the bare minimum that I could do. So if you're ever in the UK, mate, hit me up. You've got my email, and we'll go for a pint. I'll get you some tickets to City, maybe. Try my best to sort that out for you as well. What a legend. But yeah, this has been an exciting game as well. I think the neutral's been entertained. 3 goals from Haaland. And I mean, he could have had 5. Do you know what I mean? He learned his lessons, because that first one, the first opportunity to get his hat-trick, so his third chance, because I think he actually took his first 2 chances. He might have had a half chance before that, but he took his first 2. No, I don't think he did. First 2 chances back of the net. Third chance, he needed to dink that a little bit, just get it over Tim Krul, because Tim Krul committed really early, went down quite low and stuck out a flailing leg in the hope that it would block, and it worked. Haaland went too hard and low, a little dink. He learnt his lessons though. There was a 4th opportunity for Haaland, which was a rebound. I think it was from Kevin De Bruyne, was it Kevin De Bruyne or John Stones? I can't remember. But a rebounded effort with his right foot. Again, could have get anywhere either side of Tim Krul. Let's have a look at this. Just looking at the hat-tricks now. Hat-trick coming in. Just the pace and the power of Erling Haaland is sensational. Sensational. It's so good. The dink, the third one's absolutely class. It's absolutely class. Because it doesn't get that much on it. It's just the perfect amount of elevation to get it over Tim Krul. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. So good. Yeah, Oscar Bob, Sayabanga, I hope to see him in the second half. I feel like if it was 3-0, he'd already be there with his kit in the dressing room now, warming up, getting ready to come on. But for who? Now that Jack Grealish has come off and Jeremy Doku has come off, you're probably looking at the other side of the pitch, which really isn't got anyone fixed over there. I'm trying to think who actually played as a right winger. We didn't really have a right winger in this game, because Jack was tucked on the side. Bernardo Silva was very central. We didn't really see much of an attacking width from Kyle Walker either. He stayed quite reserved in his runs forward. There was nothing wrong, though. The balance wasn't disjointed or anything. But now I'm thinking back, I don't think we had a right winger playing right winger. It was Bernardo Silva was inside, Nunes was inside, John Stones was inside, Kovacic was inside. I think I just saw Kyle Walker offering a bit of width there, but he was deep. He was inside the City half. Be interesting to see what Pep could do to where. So my point remains: where would you bring Oscar Bob on now? Now Doku's on the pitch. Where does Oscar Bob fit in? Maybe for De Bruyne, maybe for Bernardo Silva. Just those 2 players have to play in the Manchester derby for me. So maybe play them centrally and play Oscar Bob centrally. He prefers that, Oscar Bob, which would be great. I do need a wee, by the way. I'm really sorry. I thought I'd get away with it, but I'm not going to get away with it. I need a wee, and I'll be rubbish in the second half if I need a wee. So I'm really sorry. I'm going to be back in 2 minutes. Let's have a look at this little Erling Haaland finish. Oh, it's delightful, mate. It's such a good goal. It really is. And De Bruyne's ball as well, the instinctiveness to see the path, and it's brilliant. We've got him back, mate. Erling Haaland's back. Enjoy the chair, Danny. I know you're a big fan of the chair. I need to put like a face on it, don't I? Just a little face there for you to enjoy. But yeah, there you go. Enjoy the chair. I've not missed Phil Foden either. Phil Foden has been... I thought that would be a big miss today. I really did. And I haven't thought about him once. With all due respect to Phil Foden, I've not thought, I could do with Phil Foden in that pitch. And yeah, it's good to know that. And Rodri as well, that's the real one, isn't it? That's the big player that's not playing. And it's amazing to see us play this well. But yeah, I need to be careful with how excited I get about this performance, because I do think Luton haven't played that well. They're out of form as well, Luton. They've got a point in the last 4 games, I think. They lost to Sheffield United at home, so a lot of my preview and a lot of my thinking, and I think most City fans will have gone into this game looking at that Luton team and remembering certain moments in the season. Their home form in particular at Kenilworth Road has been so... I mean, respectable is almost an understatement. Do you know what I mean? It's been good. It's been good. Away from home, they're dog shit. Yeah, crap, to be honest. I'm looking forward to seeing them at the Etihad, put it that way. But at home, very, very good. Very, very good, and made me worried. But a lot of their qualities were shown in the first half of the season. Just the buzz of being in the Premier League. It's not easy to maintain. It's not easy to maintain it, and you can only ride on so much emotion for so long. Do you know what I mean? Eventually, the quality shines through, and over the course of a 38-game season, you get found out, and they're getting found out right now that they've rotated a few players. Sambi Lokonga would probably have started in midfield. Clark, who has buried one, mind you, he's the one who's played all right and whipping one into the top corner, but he's not a regular starter. Reece Burke playing at right centre-back. It's normally Amari Bell, Gabriel Osho, and Teren Mengi. Mengi's had to tuck inside. So they've had to tweak. Tim Krul is not their number one goalkeeper. Kaminski's normally their number one goalkeeper. So they've had to make changes, Luton. But that's highlighted the fact that, you know, how difficult it is in the Premier League. And their squad's being tested. And they've got quite a small squad as well. Same sort of size as City, but obviously nowhere near the quality that we've got. They are pretty much championship players, barring 1 or 2 here and there. I think Lokonga's Premier League, Barkley's Premier League, Adebayo's Premier League. He's also injured. I mean, if he was up front for them, he scored at Kenilworth Road against City to make it 1-0. He's been so dangerous at back posts all season. Another player to be careful about that's not playing. But let's get it right. Manchester City are purring. They're playing well. And it's not like, you know, Haaland was through on goal 1-on-1 and he buried them. He was scoring goals. So this is the Haaland we needed to see. The Haaland that's going to come into that Manchester derby now with a spring in his step, feather in his cap, little arrogant step here and there. He's going to be buzzing. He's going to be purring, ready for that Manchester derby now, mate. I'm looking forward to it. That's a lie. I just lied out my teeth. I never look forward to Manchester derbies. Never. I don't think I've ever looked forward to a Manchester derby in my life. I dread them, to be honest. They're awful. No real diehard City fan enjoys the Manchester derby. We know we've done really well against them lately. Over the last decade or so, our record's pretty impressive. But there's still that United on their day. On their day, they can turn up and do damage to anyone. It must be infuriating being a United fan, knowing how well they can play but very rarely do. Do you know what I mean? They live in the moments, don't they? They have this ability to be so bad and then oh, what was that performance? And they play really well and do some good stuff, you know? I mean, how quickly the fan base has turned on Erik ten Hag after playing some good stuff, doing all right, getting results, getting somewhat decent performances, and then that performance against Fulham. We had a few injuries. Højlund was out, and a few others at the back were out, but the level of drop was huge. Huge. I mean, Fulham took them to the cleaners and were unfortunate not to be 2 or 3-0 up, you know. So if that United turns up at the Etihad, then we're going to wipe the floor with them. But you just do not know which United are going to turn up. And that's the scary factor. Yay, Douglas, mate. I appreciate that. He's become a typical City supporter. We've got 7 new members tonight. That's buzzing, mate. Absolutely buzzing. You guys, heroes. Absolutely heroes. Thank you so much for the support. I'm genuinely trying to not sound like a broken record, but I want my appreciation and gratitude for the support that you've shown to be known, equally distributed amongst everyone who deserves it and everyone who is supporting me. And it's hard to keep saying thank you, thank you, thank you without sounding like a broken record and sounding like you just, you don't mean it. You know what I mean? It's difficult because I want you to know how much it means to me. It's really, really nice. So thank you so much. Really, really good. But yeah, City in the tunnel now. All smiles as well, which is good to see. A happy group of Manchester City players. Nathan Ake's having his eyeball examined, wondering if he's got something in it. Probably that bloody fly that's been flying around here. Pissing me right off. But Chong's out nice and early. Do you remember the last Luton game? I got accused of being racist for saying Chong, didn't I? That was quite awkward, wasn't it? It was Cheech and Chong was the statement that I didn't say clearly enough and people thought I was being racist. Well, one person thought I was being racist, not everybody. Most people knew the joke that I was making about smoking weed and Cheech and Chong, and there's a player called Chong, and I hoped that he was going to be a laboured footballer, someone who is a bit slow, someone like had been chonging, basically. And it got completely misunderstood, and I got accused of being racist. That was quite early into my YouTube days, well, live streaming days at least. Yeah, so I didn't get off to a good start. What, stream number 5 and you're being called a racist? It's not ideal. Not ideal. So far from the truth, by the way. But, yeah. And I mean, in this game so far, is he still part of United? Is he on loan from United? Pretty sure he's a former United player, isn't he? Or at least on loan. I'm not entirely sure. But second half is about to get underway. Good to see you, Michael. God presence. Luton getting us underway. Uno momento. And it's Clark, the goal scorer, gets us underway. Barkley. Be really interesting to see how Luton approach this game. If there's been any sort of tweaks to their style, are they going to go for the low block, or are they going to give the ball straight to Jeremy Doku and Kevin De Bruyne is going to go through on goal? And no, I thought that was going to be like the most casually commentated goal you'll ever see, because they just gifted the ball to Jeremy Doku straight away from Tim Krul, who has been so dodgy with his distribution. I mean, he's only done it twice. He's only had 2 opportunities to actually pass the ball, and both times he's skewed his clearance right, like he can't even kick it. You know what I mean? It's like he can't actually kick the ball. And he just gets it right across the floor. Proper daisy cutter. And Jeremy Doku's touch sort of lets him down a little bit. Ortega's showing him how it's done with a lovely ball into Nunez's path. Sprays one out to Doku. First time Jeremy Doku's really got an opportunity to go one-on-one. He's against Ogbene. Doesn't fancy it because Ogbene's got the pace to stop him. Kovacic now. He went back to Ake and now with Kovacic, now with Manuel Akanji. Nunez, who's been brilliant for me. Again, great performance. Kovacic, who hasn't been as good against like he was against Bournemouth. A couple of moments where I feel like Kovacic has done well to keep the ball. He's actually been crowded out by a few Luton players that look dangerous, and he got the ball away from danger, which is the minimum you'd have expected from him. Still, a good performance, good enough from Kovacic. I'd like to see a little bit more. But there, John Stones bursting down that left side. Tim Krul's going to come and collect that. Erling Haaland's ability to hold up the ball has been brilliant. Brilliant so far. I don't know why, but Teden Mengi is a very competent, strong defender that just hasn't had his Weetabix this morning. I don't know why, but Erling Haaland's just making him look like a man against a boy at times. He's just holding him off. You know, like a cartoon bully. Like someone holding the head of somebody while they're swinging like that. It's just like, what are you, mate? You can't do anything. Haaland into De Bruyne. I'd like to know, I'm really interested in Haaland's stats for this game because I feel like he's been brilliant. Woodrow. They have made a change as well. Luton. Missed that. Chong chasing that ball. Akanji's intercepted it though. Good play from Akanji. Really good. That's what we need. We need solid at the back now. Nothing silly, you know. Let's not go excessively forward with the ball. We've won the game if we keep it simple. You know, and that's the job today. Win the game. Lovely ball. Nunes one-on-one. Fed by John Stones. And Matheus Nunes nearly gets his first Manchester City goal. And Tim Krul saves it. Nunes' finish was far from convincing, to be honest. But the run was brilliant. The pass from John Stones, equally good. And Nunes with his left foot is deflected as well. If he could get his shot away a little bit quicker there, it's 4-1. And I was about to celebrate, and Matheus Nunes, and he's just put the ball out for a throw-in as well, Nunes. But, oh, I'd love to see a Nunes goal. The confidence that I'll give him, you know. Hey, John Stones has been brilliant in this game. He's been so good. And the reason we're not missing Rodri, let's have it right. That's why we're not missing Rodri. Because he's Rodri right now. It's John Rodri. What a combination of player that would be. Does he have any other names, Rodri? I know it's Rodrigo. What's his other names? I do like a guy who's got one name. It's like, I don't need a second name. Just Rodri. Barkley. Not a foul. Get up. Anthony Taylor. Good referee. And Kevin De Bruyne has been fed. Oh, it's just overhit. And Ted Mengi clears the ball. Oh. Rodrigo Hernandez Cascante. That's cool. He's got 3 names. 3 names. Adam really likes Nunes. I hope he can find his way into the starting lineup more over time. I agree, mate. I said it after the last game. I feel like he's got a big role to play. Games like this, you know, when we need to rotate. The games after Champions League games, do you know what I mean? Like the Wednesday or the Tuesday after, I don't know, Bayern Munich away, Real Madrid away, whoever away in the Champions League. Then we have some mid-table team in the Premier League. The weekend after, Nunes, mate. Absolutely perfect player for me to have that high energy. So you don't see a drop in energy because his energy is so high. The team will not suffer and look lacklustre because of the midweek game. Nathan Ake's holding his heel. Don't do this to me. He looks okay, to be honest, but he's clipped on his heel. I'd get him off as soon as possible. He's all right. He's all right. He's all right. I agree. Douglas. I think Kovacic as well. I think he's been really good. It's just as I was saying that. He's giving the ball away. John Stones gets back and helps him out. Ortega. Ross Barkley showing Jack Grealish that he should be trying it first time. Oh, no way. Clark's in and it's 3-2. I don't believe this shit's going to happen. This can't happen. This can't happen. And it's come from an Ortega sloppy pass. And here you go, lads. And lasses. This is what I've been saying. Luton find a way. They find a way to score goals. And it's Clark again. And it's sloppy from Ortega. A bad clearance from him. Barkley tries a first-time effort. And he's miles onside. He's miles onside. And it's 3-2. I don't know what I'm watching here. I can't believe we're about to witness a tough game. They've done nothing in this game. We have completely dictated every aspect of this game, bar 2 moments of which Luton have scored from both. I can't believe we're in this situation. Right, go and get a fourth and just silence them. Silence them. Can't believe it, mate. I can't believe we're in a situation like this again. Scraping by. What the fuck, man? Unbelievable. Kyle Walker. Cross comes in. Haaland tries to flick it on. City look a bit shell-shocked, to be honest. Some of the players look a bit casual. Look a bit like, oh, what the hell? I don't blame them, to be honest, because, I mean, they don't deserve to be in a 3-2 game. They deserve to be cantering to a comfortable 4 or 5-1er. Do you know what I mean? Fine. They scored a wonder goal. Fine. That happens. It's not a big deal. But the fact that they've managed to get a second goal in this game makes this game look so... It's not right. It doesn't feel right at all. Unbelievable. And they'll be bouncing now. This play. Let's have a listen to Kenilworth Road. No, to be fair, can't hear anything. Pretty quiet, to be honest. And if anything, the City fans are making more noise. You can see him behind the goal there, behind Tim Krul's goal at the other end of the pitch. Long ball over the top. Ortega's coming out for this. And he's backpedalled into his own area to collect the ball. Oh, we've been brilliant, though. I don't understand how we can just... There's no legislating for their first goal. You can't plan for that. That's just a great goal. Second goal was just sloppy from Ortega. Sloppy. And the people who want Ortega ahead of Edison, well, this is why. This is why it's so important to be good with your feet in a Manchester City side. Tim Krul has proven why it's important. Because he's gifted Doku an opportunity, he's gifted Jack Grealish an opportunity, and it's a lovely ball. Kevin De Bruyne is in, and it's Erling Haaland, and it's 4-2. Get back! Get back down, Luton. Back where you belong, because there is no way you deserve to be in a 3-2 game like this. We've been battering them, and a fourth goal is the minimum that we deserve. And Erling Haaland gets his fourth goal. Kevin De Bruyne gets his fourth assist, and this is Manchester City purring once again. Up front, bang! Killing this game off finally. Surely that's it now. Surely we're not allowing Luton to come back into this game and get a third goal. Are you having a laugh? Hey, it was a lovely ball. Who's that ball? Who sprayed that ball? Was that Nunes? That's Kyle Walker, mate. Kyle Walker with a lovely ball. Splitting open the Luton defence. Reece Burke forced to turn. Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland have just quiet and silenced Kenilworth Road, who were quietly thinking, not quietly, actually they were quietly, because I didn't hear much noise, to be honest, but thinking we're in for a classic FA Cup tie. And we still could be, to be honest. We still could be, but Manchester City scoring a fourth is the least we deserved. The least. Who's pulling whose shirt, Kenny? Shirt pulling is not allowed. No, but who was pulling who? I didn't see any shirt pulling. Haaland scoring 4 goals. Love this from Erling Haaland. Kyle Walker's switched off there, though, after a lovely ball. Chong's in on goal. Well, he's not in on goal. He's down the 10. And Ortega comes out with a big piece of goalkeeping from Ortega, that was. Massive. He's absolutely clattered Chong as well. Kyle Walker switching off, though. Completely switching off. Following a beautiful ball that Kyle Walker fed through into the path of Kevin De Bruyne. He caught ball watching a little bit there. Erling Haaland's in again. Nunes is offering a path inside and he cuts it into Nunes. Nunes, can he bring it down? Brings it down with his chest. Looks for options. He's got his back to goal. Left foot. Nunes save from Krul. Applause from Kevin De Bruyne because he knows Matheus Nunes is starting to play some very good football in a Manchester City shirt. He really is. And he's not far away from getting himself a goal. A deserved goal as well from Matheus Nunes, it would be. Good effort there with his left foot. Too central, though. Needs to try and find the corner of the goal. Tim Krul, easy one to save. But I'd love to see a Nunes goal. Love it. Here he is, Nunes. Lovely ball into Bernardo Silva from Nunes. Massive amount of space is Erling Haaland. He's on his 5th goal. And Erling Haaland makes it 5-2. That surely is the game done. And Erling Haaland is ripping down Kenilworth Road brick by brick with 5 goals to his name. Erling Haaland has seen Manchester City through into the next round of the FA Cup. Boom. Oh, you're back in the game, Luton. And not for long, mate. Not for long. Back in the bin you go. Oh, buzzing. Who was that pass? It was a lovely ball from Nunes into Bernardo Silva. And it was Bernardo Silva with the assist this time. Where were you, Kevin De Bruyne? Erling Haaland's got 5 goals, mate. Only 4 assists, Kevin. Where were you, mate? Letting Bernardo Silva do all the work. What are you playing at, mate? What are you playing at? That's great play. Great play from Manchester City. 5-2. What an enjoyable game. Just a guy behind the net there, and a City fan behind the net, just like with a City scarf, just like the whole move just stayed like that. Even when it went into the back of the net, just stood there, knowing that I've chose the right team to support. I've chose the right team. Yeah, you have, mate. I didn't think that when I was a kid, though. I thought I've chose the worst team in the world to support. But how wrong was I? How wrong was I? Yeah, 5 Haaland emojis in the chat. Buzzing, mate. Buzzing. We could humiliate them now. We could make this 6-7. Why not? I don't want to see a third goal, though, because Luton have not done here either. They're coming the other way now. Piss off. Unbelievable. Ogbene. Townsend's onto the pitch, by the way. A dangerous player. Ogbene's messing about with it. Doku's pushed him over and said, what are you doing, mate? And he's fed a Kevin De Bruyne down that left wing. He's very much on that white line, though, Kevin De Bruyne right now. He had to slow it down because he only really had Erling Haaland, who was surrounded by 2 or 3 Luton players. Clever play from De Bruyne to slow the game down. Luton want this to be end-to-end now, really. It suits them, but suits us as well, to be honest, because I think we can play the slow game or the quick game, and we're playing the quick game right now because Nathan Ake down the left wing into the path of Erling Haaland. It's gone past him. Nunes at the back post, and it's cleared. Bernardo Silva coming in, tries a little flick over the head, and he's not come off. John Stones slowing down any potential counter-attack, though. Kyle Walker on Carlton Morris. John Stones. Yeah, double hat-trick, Scott Galloway. Mate. Has anyone scored 6 in the FA Cup? Has anyone scored 6? No one's ever scored 6 in the Premier League, have they? It's always been 5, hasn't it? I don't think anyone's got a double hat-trick. Get in the chat. Let us know if anyone scored 6 in the FA Cup before. Probably someone like down in the low, like round 1. Like Maidstone versus Yeovil or something like that. I don't know, like, oh, nearly gave the ball away. Yeah, it'll be some random guy from like 1945, like Trevor Engelbottom scored 700 goals in 3 minutes or something like that. I don't know. Oh, Nunes frustrated there. George Best. Oh, fucking George Best. He was at my granddad's funeral, George Best. My granddad knew George Best. Ball coming in from Luton. Chong's underneath it, and it's cleared by Akanji. De Bruyne, who's been brilliant. So good from De Bruyne. Very shots deflected. Is that a corner ball or a goal kick? It was Ross Barkley's effort. Luton have not finished, you know. George Best against Northampton. Fair play. Fair play. No subs from City, Lisa. Not yet. I think we need to see him now, to be honest, Lisa. I agree. I think now's the time. Our mark has gone. We had the one in the first half. Doku for Grealish, who came off injured. The devastated Jack Grealish. But Luton are making a substitution themselves right now. Ogbene coming off. So their main counter-attacking threat. Jordan Clark, scorer of the 2 goals, coming off for Hashioka and Mpanzu. There wasn't an open bar, no. Yeah, my granddad was an actor. He acted in Coronation Street. Anyone in America will be like, fucking Coronation Street. But everyone in the UK, especially from Manchester, will know. I'm sure if you're in the UK, you know Coronation Street. But my granddad was in Coronation Street back in the day. He was also in... he was in the Batman and Robin episode of Only Fools and Horses, my granddad. He was the security guard. Yeah, so if you... Harry Littlewood was his name, which is no name. It's not. We don't share the same surname, so I can give that out. You know, let's just... Yeah. But... Haaland's fed in. Kevin De Bruyne, he's in space. Kevin De Bruyne, oh, it's saved by Krul. Lay it off. Haaland wants number 6. Doku. It's cleared. But, Yeah, section. He's in. This is for the old timers, but yeah, my granddad was in the. He was in the Bill. He was in London's Burning, Coronation Street. I think he was in Emmerdale. Yeah, my granddad was an actor. I'm so proud that he was an actor as well. He was a cool guy. But he knew George Best through being that he lived down in London, my granddad. And he used to, and when I was a kid, George Best used to ring my granddad up whenever I was down there. Like, hey, Harry, do you fancy coming out for a drink, mate? And my dad was like, my granddad was like, no, I'm with my grandson, I can't. But every day he was like, do you want, fancy a drink? Fancy a drink? So although George Best is obviously a Manchester United legend, I've got some weird connection with him. I never actually met him other than at the funeral, but still. Anyway, 5-2. Manchester City comfortably looking like we're in the next round of the FA Cup. When is that, by the way? I don't actually know when the draw is. No way. Carlton Morrison's in. Ortega. Big save from Ortega. Still not cleared. Barkley, penalty area. He's going for that. Oh, what a save from Ortega again. Redeemed himself. He's cost us the second goal that we've conceded, but to be honest, he's prevented a third twice in the space of 10, 15 seconds there. First one was a big one-on-one. That's just using your body, the first one. But that second one is goalkeeping masterclass that only 6'3", 6'4" goalkeepers will be able to get their fingertips on that. Because that was right on the tips of his fingers, just past the post from Ross Barkley. That was destined, goal-bound for that far corner. Danger's not gone, though. Dottie's going to take the corner. Oh, no way. Ortega saved it again. Scorpion-tastic. Thanks, mate. He's on IMDb as well. If you go on IMDb, you can see all the things that he's ever acted in. Yeah, top man. Matt Galaxy. Haaland. Wow, just tuned into the stream now. Manchester United shitting bricks watching this. Yeah, absolutely. And here he is, mate. He's on the ball. He's been brilliant. It's not just the goals, by the way. We're talking about 5 goals from Erling Haaland. Yes, unbelievable. Unbelievable. But his overall play has been sensational. Like, really good. Like, his passing, his first touch, his decision-making, the movement. It's all been top-notch. Now, the question is this a 10 out of 10 performance? I know that's something I've never given out, and to be honest, there's factors in my player ratings. Núñez with a big burst of speed, but he's got no options really. He's down that right wing. City look a bit tired, to be honest, now. Some of the players, John Stones, I'd get him off. Not punishment, just tired. Let's rest these players now. It's credit to Pep Guardiola and it's credit to the FA Cup. The heritage and the history of the FA Cup is being respected by Pep Guardiola. To one, playing such a strong team. 2, keeping the same team when you're 5-2 up. You know, I feel like he doesn't believe this game's done, though. Bernardo Silva pointing to where Manuel Akanji needed to run. Manuel Akanji obliges. Doku, who's been very quiet since he's come onto the pitch, to be honest. Jeremy Doku, I'd like to see more of him. He's not like hiding from the ball or anything, but he's just been a bit quiet. Not had any sort of impact on the game whatsoever. 230 watching. Can we pop some likes on the stream? If you've just joined, it really helps. Do you reckon we could get to 200 before the end of the game? Really appreciate that. And subscribe if you're new as well. 7 new members tonight. That's buzzing. All thanks to Jeff, mostly, who very kindly handed out 5, gifted 5 memberships. Ortega. Oh, that's a lovely ball from Ortega this time. Gets it spot on. Núñez. Pulled. His shirt was pulled there. That's a foul and therefore a yellow card. Is it not, referee? Bit of sympathy from the referee there, to be honest. But I'm sure there's people in the old enough in the chat that it's before my time, to be honest, that Manchester City and Luton do have a bit of history that goes back to, what was it, 1982, 1983? That's 5 years before I was born. But Luton and Manchester City play. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, by the way. I'm sure there's some old timers in the chat that will probably have been there or at least watched the game. City were playing Luton last game of the season, and all we needed to do was draw, and we stayed up. We were avoiding relegation. Luton cross, back post, Carlton Morrison underneath it. It's going to be just wide. Fucking hell. Is it still not cleared? Fucking cameraman can't keep up with the ball, huh? That's a weird one. What's Anthony Taylor doing here? He gave City a lot of time to get a counter-attack there before pulling it back for an offside. Very generous refereeing there from Anthony Taylor. But still, I was going to say, back in the early 80s, City and Luton were playing each other, and Luton needed to win to stay up, and City needed to draw to stay up. And Luton stole I can't remember what time of the game it was, but I think they won the game 1-0. And their manager at the time, David Pleat. This is going off my dad's description, because my dad used to tell me how much he hated David Pleat and Luton because they relegated Manchester City. And David Pleat ran across the main road pitch, which is iconic images in footballing history in the UK. So go and Google David Pleat, and there's images of him in some sort of like sandy, light brown suit running across the main road pitch like an absolute loony. City fans hate it, hate that moment. I wasn't alive for it, but City fans hate him and hate Luton for that moment. Certainly ones that were at the game for that relegation. But let's be honest, if you'd done that, you'd be running on the pitch. I'd be running on the pitch if you'd managed to stay up with a goal like that. I'm 35, Big M. 35. 36 in April. Scorpion-tastic remembers. Do I look like... Oh, cheers, mate. Thanks very much. 35. Yeah. The camera's pretty generous, to be honest. If you saw me in the flesh, you'd be like, you're 35? Fucking hell, mate. You look about 50, to be honest. I've got a face like my skin's like a fucking scrotum. Like, I'm fucking old and wrinkly and grey now, mate. So, Jeff will be 34 in April. Mate, with same birth month. I think we're destined for friendship, Jeff. 71 minutes gone. City have slowed down the game a little bit, understandably so, letting Luton see what they can offer as some sort of threat. Teasing them a little bit, to be honest. See if we can bring them out of their shape, because they need to come forward to get anything out of this game. They've not given up, in fairness to Luton. They've made quite a few substitutions, but here's Jeremy Doku looking for options. Doku onto his right foot. Oh, saved. Haaland is absolutely everywhere, mate. Chasing down lost causes that almost like, don't, just leave it, mate. Like, he was chasing that ball. Brilliant from Haaland. Good to see the attitude is absolutely bang on the money from Erling Haaland in this game. You're watching this as Julian Alvarez, you're like, ooh. Kovacic. Whoa, Kovacic gets his first Manchester City goal and makes it 6-2. The game that was meant to be incredibly hard has turned out to be ridiculously easy because Luton have just capitulated and Kovacic gets his first Manchester City goal. Fully deserved as well. What a fantastic performance this has been from Manchester City. It really is. Outside the box, Kovacic just a long-range effort. I'm questioning the goalkeeper, to be honest, here a little bit. It looked like he could have saved this, but I might be being a little bit harsh on Tim Krul here. But Kovacic, take nothing away from the fact that he's even got the balls to take a shot there. The power beats him. I still think the keeper should save that. The keeper should save that. Yeah, keeper should save that. It's not exactly in the corner, but I'm not complaining. 6-2. 12th of April. Stefan. Adams buzzing off that. It was a great goal. It was a good goal. I do think the keeper should have saved it, to be honest. But the power, maybe. I think Hashioki, the substitute for Luton, who's come onto the pitch, I think he got in the vision. He got in the eye line, the path of the ball in front of Tim Krul. To which point, by that time, the ball appears into Tim Krul's vision. It's too late. It fizzes past him. Just an outstretched hand. It doesn't go in the corner. It's quite central. It's sort of a side foot effort from Kovacic on the edge of the box. About 5 yards out, probably about 20, 23, 24 yards out from goal. And he sort of like whips it with his instep, right foot. But it goes quite centrally. It doesn't really go in either of the corners. But yeah, you take it. We want 7, Kevin. Absolutely, mate. And we've been asking for this. A comfortable performance. A comfortable goal-scoring performance that, you know, makes it feel better. And this is going to do wonders to the confidence, that feeling of going. This could be the turning point. This could be the point of the season where we now go on and take it beyond just getting 3 points. Getting 3 points convincingly with big scorelines, big goal difference obliterating scorelines. That's what I want to see. You know, I want to see some confidence just purring, oozing through this team. And we're getting it with this result. We really are. If we can back this up now with a Manchester Derby win, that doesn't need to be excessive. That can be a win by any means. But a win in the Manchester Derby following this, you start to think, could the four-peat be very realistic? Because I'll be honest with you, the last 3 weeks or so, watching Liverpool has been hard to ignore how good they've been, you know. And not just how good they've been, even when they've been, you know, even the Carabao Cup when they played the kids. As much, I mean, Chelsea were a sham. The fact that they'd started doing a low block against kids, defending in the last 15 minutes of that extra time. What the fuck was that from Chelsea, man? Like, absolute. I mean, Gary Neville gets some criticism in saying that Chelsea is harsh to call them bottle jobs, billionaire bottle jobs. He's absolutely spot on. I completely agree with him. I think it was a disgraceful performance from Chelsea in that second half. I thought they played better when Liverpool had better players on the pitch. As soon as they brought on the kids, they I don't know, what did they not see who they were bringing on? Did they think, oh, these some whoa, here come the changes. Rico Lewis, Oscar Bob, Alvarez and Sergio Gomez all coming onto the pitch. Who's coming off? It's got to be KDB. Oh, they've taken off Erling Haaland, who was on his double hat-trick. Can't really complain though, Erling, mate. You scored 5. You scored 5 goals, mate. Haaland, Haaland, Haaland. Brilliant. Brilliant. Big high fives from all the City players, deservedly so. Big V-Gum, Haaland is fury mode. He really is, mate. He's absolutely lighting up Kenilworth Road. Ake, another one coming off that needs wrapping up. Bernardo Silva is the other one. Those are the 3 players. Next should be Kevin De Bruyne. Surely Kevin De Bruyne comes off. And then for me, we've taken off. And maybe John Stones after that. And then we've protected the players that need protecting. Who's the other one? Haaland's number 9. Kyle Walker's fed Alvarez. They haven't shown who's come off. Kevin De Bruyne is still on the pitch. That's mind-boggling to me. What are we doing here? Nathan Ake's off. Haaland's off. Bernardo Silva's off. Who was the other one? Is it John Stones? It looks like John Stones. Rico Lewis seems to be going like almost like right back, but Kyle Walker's still on the pitch, which is confusing. Be interesting to see what Kyle Walker's doing now. Maybe tucking in as a centre back potentially. He can do it, and I mean 6-2 up, you can do it, but. Townsend's got the ball now with Gomez to beat. Carlton Morrison offers a short ball back to Townsend. Townsend, left foot drive into the hands of Ortega. I think Chong and Ross Barkley were approaching deep there with 2 late runs into the box, throwing their arms at Townsend, saying, you've got to cross that, mate. What are you shooting there for? Ortega into Akanji. I'd like a 7th, because I really think that's such emphatic result that will be. 7-2. I'm frustrated at the 2. There's still a part of me, the perfectionist. I mean, I'm not really a perfectionist, but if I was, I'd be very frustrated at the 2, and I still am frustrated at the 2. It's the second goal that's annoyed me. The first goal I don't have a problem with. I don't mind conceding a goal. When it's that, it's like, oh, we can't keep clean sheets. Well, no one keeps clean sheets when goals like that go in. It's part of football. You can't be perfect. But that second goal was avoidable. You know, it was very avoidable. And it came from a mistake, an Ortega mistake, who's been brilliant, Ortega, other than that mistake. In another game where the opposition aren't quite as, you know, open-ended as Luton have been in this game, then that mistake could have been more costly, you know. Nunes, long ball over the top for Doku to chase. Being forced out wide, though. Doku one-on-one with Hashioka. Into the box, Jeremy Doku is going to make it 7. Oh, he's just fired it past the post, and I'd like to see how close this is. But the turn of speed from Doku there, bursting into the box, he looks like he wants a goal. He looks like he wants his 7th. Yeah, it's a bit off, to be honest. Have they gone red? Not quite as red as normal, are they? Done all right, actually. They're not that bad. Ten minutes to go. And the quality of Luton has been poor, but you've got to give them credit because they're running about. You know what I mean? They've not given up at all. Look at Townsend. They're sprinting. Proper good work ethic there from Luton players. They're the sort of team that if they stayed up, they'd get battered next season. Because I think the points they've amassed this season have had a lot of emotion, you know, like the excitement of being in the top division in the Premier League. It's easy to get momentum. I'm still incredibly shocked at Burnley and how poor they've been from start to finish. And I mean, Kompany, as brilliant as he's been in the Championship, he's just not cut the mustard. It's been awful. And I'm actually a little bit surprised that there's not been, you know, with all due respect to him, a lot of managers out there who had, if they'd been playing like Burnley have been playing, there'd be question marks, there'd be headlines, the Kompany out, you know, not from the fans, but from questions from the media saying that it's probably time for Kompany to go and suggesting that he's the favourite to next lose his job, which is not anything I ever want to see from a Manchester City legend like Vincent Kompany. But they have been poor, haven't they? Burnley, they really have. Considering how well they did in the Championship as well. Don't forget, at the start of the season, Kompany was being linked with Spurs. Before Ange Postecoglou, Kompany was being linked with big clubs like that. People were even saying, like, potentially after Pep Guardiola. How do you feel about that now? As much as I love the guy, how do you feel about that? I don't feel very good about that, to be honest, anymore. The guy's a class act, a class human being, an absolute hero, a legend of Manchester City. But management is a different kettle of fish, mate. It's a different ball game. Rico Lewis with a stupid back heel gave it away there, and he gets away with it because a bad ball fed into Carlton Morris would have been punished, most likely, but gets away with that there, Rico Lewis. Another player, I was a little bit surprised to see Rico Lewis come on so late. The substitutions have been a little bit late, but, you know. Hey up, Robert Football 09. I had to put, because some people subscribe just to abuse, mate. So, yeah, I'm glad you're here, mate, and you waited patiently 10 minutes to say your piece, but it's good to see you in the chat, mate. My name is Johnny Robert. Hope you're doing well. Kyle Walker, back to Ortega. 83 minutes gone, 6-2. I don't think I was... was anyone expecting 6-2? Was anyone expecting it to be as comfortable as this? I know Big M was. Big M was saying 4-1 earlier in the chat. I think you're the only one was as... Maybe others were as confident as you, but I wasn't as confident as you, mate. I've got to be honest. Got to be honest. Pep's demanding stuff of his players still. You can see Bernardo Silva behind him as well, talking to Nathan Ake, like pointing and stuff. And it's that passion, that love of the game. Just demanding such high standards. Even 6-2 up, you'd forgive most football teams and players to just take the foot off the gas and go through the motions a little bit. But Pep, none of that. And that's why we are where we are. Because he is our manager and he demands such ridiculously high things from a team. And he's just ruthless. You know, some people would feel like sympathy for Luton in this situation. He doesn't feel those things, Pep. He's just like, yeah, where's my 7th goal, mate? Where's my 7th? 3-0 you were going for. Nearly right. Just 6-2. Quite wrong, actually. I mean, less wrong than I was. Can't remember what I said. 1-2 with Oscar Bob. Nearly comes off. Jeremy Doku. So, yeah, when's the FA Cup draw? Can someone tell me in the chat to save me going into my pocket for my phone because I'm lazy? Because we nearly got Maidstone, didn't we? In the draw for this round, we were one of 4 teams. It was Coventry, Maidstone, Luton, and Manchester City with a final 4 balls, if memory serves me. And a big part of me was hoping we'd get Maidstone, but Coventry got Maidstone, and Coventry beat Maidstone 5-0 yesterday. So that's their FA Cup run done, and it's now where you start to see the big boys just take over the tournament. Do you know what I mean? They start taking over the competition. And we are one of those big boys. Draw tomorrow. Well, that'll be the next round, Clara. 16th of March will be the next round of fixtures, won't it? But the draw is tomorrow, which is exciting. See who we get. Who can we even get? Newcastle drawing with Blackburn. So that'll be no replay either. So that'll be going to PKs. What are the other fixtures as well? Leicester beating Bournemouth as well. Leicester are top of the... are they top? Pretty sure they're top. Top of the Championship. 109 minutes into that one, though. And tomorrow, Chelsea versus Leeds. That'll be a good game. I tell you what, Leeds, they could do something at Chelsea there. Chelsea will be feeling sorry for themselves, licking their wounds after that Carabao Cup final loss. Leeds, who are purring right now, doing really well in the Championship. It's at Stamford Bridge, though. But if that was at Ellen Road, I'm telling you, Leeds would be turning Chelsea over. They still could, to be honest. They still could. Nottingham Forest versus Man United in an all-Premier League clash. Wolves versus Brighton. And Liverpool versus Southampton, which is not an easy game either, because Southampton are doing all right as well. They're playing some all right football. But yeah, it seems like I imagine this is going to go down to a Manchester City-Liverpool game. Haaland's been given man of the match for some strange reason. He only scored 5. But yeah, I don't know if I can give him 10 out of 10 though. People will be like, you mental, Johnny. What do you have to do to get a 10 out of 10 in your eyes? Now, I'm not trying to tease you on purpose, but for me... hang on, cross comes in from Luton. Ortega's not coming out for that. Gomez swing and a miss. No way we're going to... Kyle Walker eventually gets it clear. Not really. Doku, lovely turn from Doku. He's going to come back though. Townsend, cross comes in. Nunes underneath it. Barkley tries to clear the ball, City. Eventually, Gomez is just not a defender, mate. He's not a defender. I love Gomez on the ball. Very technically capable player, Sergio Gomez. But he can't defend. He panics in the box. His back post awareness is non-existent. But what was I saying about 10 out of 10? I feel like the occasion needs to be factored in. The opposition needs to be factored in. Do you know what I mean? I feel like if Haaland scores a hat-trick in a Champions League semi-final, Kevin De Bruyne is coming forward with options. He plays in Kovacic. He's forced him a little bit wide, though. Kovacic looked a bit laboured then. He looked tired and he's lost the ball to Mengi. The ball wasn't great from De Bruyne. But you know what I mean? If Haaland scores a hat-trick against Real Madrid in a semi-final against Real Madrid, let's say, that to me is a 10 out of 10 performance because of the occasion. But scoring 5 against Luton, brilliant, but it's Luton. Do you know what I mean? I always I had to factor everything in. So, it doesn't seem right. Alvarez is coming forward, though. Turned his man onto his left foot. Alvarez, Krul save. Oh, it deflected as well. It was a good save, good reaction save from Tim Krul there. Alvarez looking to get on the score sheet, though. He's not done it. Cross comes in across the face of goal. And Hashioka gets it clear for a corner. But it does feel harsh not to give someone a 10 for scoring 5, to be honest. Because I'm not talking about hat-tricks. I'm talking about 5. Do you know what I mean? 5 goals. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. See how I feel. I'd love it, Robert. Oscar Bob's been not done much, to be honest, in this game. It's in his, what's he had? 15 minutes? But he's looked lively. Tried a couple of 1-2s with Doku that have not come off. But, you know, it's hard to judge a player on a substitute appearance like that. And Kyle Walker's been mostly good. Lovely ball from Kyle Walker for the, was it the 5th goal or the 6th goal? Can't quite remember. There you go. Full time. 6-2. Job done. FA Cup. We keep marching on. The treble is still on. Imagine if we get a treble again. A double treble would be ridiculous. And it was a great game to watch and a really enjoyable stream because I felt relaxed early. And I don't think we've ever done that. Clara's flexing the membership. Appreciate that, Clara. And thanks for capitalising on Jeff's kind donation for 5 members gifted. Love that. Yeah, it was good stream. I really enjoyed casually talking about this game because I always felt as soon as that second went in, I was like, we're winning this quite comfortably. You could see it. The players' movement, the agility, the fluidity, the body language. It was top stuff. Top draw stuff from Manchester City. It looked like we had a point to prove. And it was a fantastic performance that allowed me to, relax quite early. I imagine a lot of you did as well. And just before I go, I've kept his comment pinned because James, who's a big follower, he's now a member as well. I'm glad you got that membership, James, as well. He's not doing well in hospital, mate. I hope you are out soon, and I hope it's not serious, James. I wish you all the best, mate. So keep your spirits up, mate. I know it's boring in hospital. Even if it's not serious, you've still got to sit there and boredom, haven't you, mate? So I hope you're all right. But yeah, brilliant. Manchester United next. Just that little old club across the road that wear red. Let's see what we do against them. Sunday is the game. 3:30 kickoff in the UK time. That's a weird one. Can't remember the reasoning behind it, but that's a weird kickoff time. 3:30 on a Sunday. A weird one. But yeah, I'll be doing a watch along. Got videos prior to that, of course, previews, things like that. Brilliant. So yeah, fantastic. Great stuff. Thanks again for joining me in the stream. 6-2 into the next round of the FA Cup. We go. Enjoy the rest of your evening, Blues, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.